What is your comment on the death in Goa of the 21-year-old boy from Indore, now detected to have died due to drug cocktail consumption?
The incident relating to the drug death of a young 21-year-old boy from Indore is indeed very sad for the boy, for his family, relatives and friends, and also for Goa. May the soul of this youngster rest in peace, and my deepest condolences to the family members. Whatever happened to this 21-year-old boy should not happen to anyone, whether a tourist or a worker or even a local. What is worse is that first there was an attempt to cover it up, claiming that his death was due to a heart attack. Toxicology revealed a lethal drug cocktail. Tests detected methamphetamine, MDMA, cocaine, amphetamine, cannabis and alcohol, a deadly mix known as drunken molly, linked to fatal cardiac and metabolic collapse.
What do you think of the nightclubs being involved in drug trade and operating without permissions?
Firstly, there are clubs, these nightclubs which operate with license, and there are others which operate without license or permissions. Who are often raided? How do these non-licensed clubs organize parties and host events without any permissions? Someone from the top must be giving permissions and directing authorities to ignore or overlook or look the other way around. When I say giving permission means oral permissions. Now see this club which was forced to cancel its show. Why? Because it had no permissions. But they had advertised and sold tickets. People had come in anticipation of the event. Congress party had to protest with the villagers, and the show was not permitted to be held at the last minute. How could this have reached this point where cancellation happened at the time the event was to start? How could the organizers be so confident of the event happening and be bold to advertise and hold out till the last minute? Surely someone right from top was taking care and was giving directions and blessings. About drugs in nightclubs, officially they are not being sold, but sometimes the clubs themselves have arrangements with these peddlers and take a cut for the sales. Sometimes these people who work in the nightclubs themselves have some connections outside, maybe without the knowledge of the owners or the operators of the nightclubs. Don't forget that this boy who died collapsed outside the nightclub. The club wanted to have the party on Good Friday. Are these people only wanting to make money without bothering about local sentiments, beliefs, cultures and tradition and solemn occasions? Don't they learn to respect Good Friday as a very sacred day which is respected by each and every one all over the world and in Goa by all Goans irrespective of their religion? If the boy had died in the club, allegations would surface that drug sale was going on in the club or at its door. Now that the boy died outside, it is evident that the sale, delivery and consumption apparently took place at some place which is not inside the club but outside.
Why do you think this claim was being made of a heart attack without awaiting forensic or toxicology report?
From the point of view of authorities, it could be to ensure that no negative image of Goa would be put out which could affect tourism of Goa. From the point of view of police and others who claimed, I would ask, was someone in the group of friends of this boy who died, someone very powerful, someone powerful involved that the person wanted the name of his child and family to be protected? So either the contact was made directly or through people in the government. Don't forget that there is a BJP government in Madhya Pradesh and a BJP government in Goa. So the people's suspicions of cover-up is very loud and clear. Only those who made such statements that it was a heart attack should reveal the basis of this information.
Do you believe that the government is genuinely interested in tackling the drug menace in Goa?
This was specifically what I asked in the assembly. After speaking about the various cases of huge drug hauls in kilos, I specifically asked the question to the government as whether the investigation ended with catching the persons with the drugs or ascertaining and investigating the drug trail and the source. I got no response. I don't believe the government is genuinely interested in unraveling the source, and the reason is simple. There is clearly a chain of supply of hafta from down to the top, and someone in the government is surely collecting hafta to allow the drug trade to happen. The government should not just make statements that drugs will not be tolerated, but must walk the talk. Do you remember the recent video few days back of a foreigner in Kalangut who directly accused rampant drug sale in the open and next to a Goa police booth? Do you mean that the police is not aware? And the funny thing was that after this expose by this foreigner, I am told that the police booth has cleaned off painted it not to show it is a police booth. It is in public domain that some police officers get postings by paying for the postings and giving a monthly hafta. The slogan is pay up and remain, or don't pay up and you get transferred. And perhaps in some cases there may be even FIRs, inquiries may be lodged or filed against some officer for some misdemeanor if you don't toe the official line, which is the unofficial part.
What do you think the action of the police in obtaining blood samples of the friends of the deceased in Indore? Do you think they are genuinely pursuing the case, or is it just for public consumption?
Firstly, I don't know if these friends of the dead boy are accused or not. How do you go and take blood samples of witnesses? Secondly, if they were accused, what investigation was done to get them to the police station soon after the tragedy of the death? When they were available in Goa and with the deceased, if the police had any suspicion, why were they not detained and their blood samples taken at that time? Thirdly, I would ask this: what purpose would it serve in the investigation, in this case of the death of a 21-year-old, if the friend, whether it's a man or a woman, who's going along with him, part of the group accompanying the deceased, had also consumed drugs, unless the suspicion was that the other person who took him or who was going along with him administered drugs to the deceased who died. Fourthly, blood samples were taken in Indore 1 week after the incident. I don't doubt the credentials of the hospital where the blood samples were taken, but if there are very powerful players involved who could attempt to scuttle the investigation at the inception itself and manage to extricate their children from Goa out of the clutches of the Goa police, will they not use their influence in this hospital too? Additionally, taking a sample after a week cannot help in any manner whatsoever, and I will tell you the reason. The gap of time may leave no traces of any drug in the blood of the individuals. But let us go by the worst case scenario. Assuming that there are some traces, how can it then be proved that these drug traces relate back to that date only and not to some other date before or after? Goa police should stop fooling the people. Has any FIR been registered for murder or any other offence? The death due to drug overdose with the cocktail drug will be closed as an unnatural death. Only when the police investigates the source of the drugs and nabs the accused, who are the main suppliers and in the chain, even in this case which should be done, only then justice will be done. Remember what I am saying. It cannot stop by simply investigating the cause of the death and leaving it as an unnatural death. The investigation has to travel beyond to see the source. The funding also is needed to be known, from where the money was coming. And then even the law provides for attachment confiscation of the assets of these people involved in this, there will be true justice, not only for the person who died, for the young boy who died and his family, but also will help us, everyone in Goa, and for our nation.